All right, first and foremost, we give all praise, honor, and glory unto the Most High God, Yahweh. We do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, who the world calls Christ. New report recently, you know they poll a lot, right? Take polls, presidential polls, all kind of political agenda polls. So they took a poll recently. What is this via? This via Yahoo now. So read about this. Read the title first and foremost.
It's an article from Yahoo News. Titled Israel and the U.S.
Israel and the U.S. Right? Go ahead. Young. Now listen to this. Why more young? What else? Black. Go ahead.
And Latino Americans.
Read on.
Than ever before. Don't
like who?
Don't like Israel.
For some reason, all the young blacks and Hispanics in America are starting not to like Israel. What is Israel? The Jewish people that stole our land.
Right.
Just for some coincidental reason, we are beginning to become strongly disapproving of Israel. Go ahead.
The more Americans know about Israel, the less they like about it.
The more we learn, the less we like, according to this article. Go ahead.
According to a new survey.
The
Brand Israel Group has commissioned regular surveys in its bid to promote the image of Israel as the key ally to America in the Middle East.
Do they view Israel as a key ally to America in the Middle East? Yes, they do. Or now, not so much an ally. Israel is the welfare baby of America. All right, they get more aid. They talk about black people being on welfare. Right. The welfare baby of America is Israel. More money gets paid to Israel than does to any black people ever. Right? Go ahead.
While more Americans said they are more knowledgeable about Israel than before, larger numbers said they had a negative opinion of the country.
They had a what?
Negative opinion.
Large numbers are saying they have a negative opinion. Go ahead.
Less than 2/3, 62%,
go ahead,
of people surveyed in 2017 have a positive view of Israel.
Go ahead.
Compared to just over 3/4, 76%.
So the more and more we find out about Israel, people in America, especially black and Hispanic people, the less we like Israel. Go ahead.
Although a majority of Americans still view Israel favorably.
Why? Because the majority of Americans are what? White, Edomites. So, of course, they love their brothers. Right? Go ahead.
Support is declining among younger Americans, and especially among the black and Latino population.
Especially among our people. Does this in part have to do with the truth getting out? Probably in part, but just in general, blacks and Hispanics are just not fond of Israel right now. And it's all in the spirit. Go ahead. Of course there is. Come on. All pray. Who's that?
Levi.
Oh, hey, shalom to Levi, man. All right. Levi understands. Go ahead.
Shared values are the bedrock of our relationship. And young Americans do not believe Israel shares our values.
That's right. And young Americans, young black and Hispanic Americans are exactly correct when they believe that Israel, as it is the Israelis, the Jewish people that are over there, do not share our values. All right? Thing about you, right? Go ahead.
Fern Oppenheim, one of the group's co-founders, told the Jewish Telegraphic Agency that's a huge issue.
That's a huge issue. Jewish people are mad about this. This is a huge issue. Go ahead.
We have to have a narrative about the heart and soul and humanity of the Israelis.
You see that? There's got to be a narrative about the heart and soul and humanity of Israelis. Here's my question. Was there a heart and soul and humanity amongst the Israelis as they bombed Palestinian babies to Timbuktu? Of course, there's no humanity there. Was there a humanity in the Israelis when they financed the boats that brought us over here in cargo slave ships? Of course, there's no humanity. So they're basically telling you that they have to change the narrative and try to get you to believe that Israel is something that it's not in order for you to approve of it and pull the wool over your eyes. Right? But go ahead.
Khan, The survey was carried out between September and October 2016 by polling firm Global.
Go ahead.
Strategy Group on behalf of Brand Israel, and sampled 2,600 Americans across a range of demographic groups.
Go ahead.
It found that while older Americans, Republicans, and men were more likely to view Israel approvingly.
White men approve of Israel. Go ahead.
The opposite was the case for the millennials, Democrats, women, as well as African American and Latino Americans.
You see that? So our people in the spirit are rejecting Israel. Even I'm sure the majority of these guys that were polled and submitted data to this survey had no idea about the truth. I'm sure of it. Right? But they still disapproved of Israel. Go ahead.
Gone. Though most people in each demographic surveyed had a positive view of Israel.
Why? Because America puts Israel out there as just a helpless little baby that you're just satanic if you don't help. That you're just so evil and cruel if you don't give your money to Holocaust survivors. Y'all ever seen around the Passover time they have the Holocaust commercials? Help a Holocaust survivor, send them a box of matzah bread. They got these commercials out there like they ain't got paid. These Holocaust survivors got paid, man. All right, go ahead.
Though most people in each demographic surveyed had a positive view of Israel, that number has declined.
Has declined. Go ahead.
From 73% to 60% among Democrats, and by 20 points for Latinos and African Americans.
20 points for blacks and Hispanics. We're waking up to what's going on. And this is how we know the race wars is drawing closer and destruction is drawing closer, because our people are waking up. Brothers talking to their grandparents. Grandparents are saying it's more racist now than when they was growing up.
Right.
People are starting to be aware of this, become conscious of this. Go ahead.
The truth is getting out.
Exactly. And the truth is getting out. And then Omar Johnson went on a damn Coon show. What's his Coon name?
Roland Martin.
Roland Martin. Who knows Roland Martin in the room? He got he got a conch hairstyle, or am I tripping?
It's like a slick back.
Look like he got some type of a conch from the 60s or something like that. Right? Roland Martin. And here's some black woman go. This black woman just up in arms when the brother says you got to get with a black woman. She just can't. No, you can't get with. You can't tell people they got to marry a black woman. I've never seen such a thing like that. Anyway, so he go up on that show and he keeps asking the question, what have white people done systematically to change our oppression? And nobody answered. They're talking about an individual white man walking in the damn march with you. You see what I'm saying? They're not talking about any systemic change. They bring up the Civil Rights Act, which crippled the black economy. All right, didn't end up helping us, which is why Martin Luther King, before they killed him, started realizing what he did. You see what I'm saying? With that being said, our people are starting to wake up to what's going on.
Right.
Period. Some of the old coons in the suits that get paid a whole lot of money and have a whole lot of white buddies, they don't realize it. All right, or they actually do realize it. They just choose to stay ignorant to it because they get paid to pretend as if it's all good and we live in a post-racial society, right? Go ahead.
Gone. Previous polls on American attitudes to Israel have found views remaining fairly consistent with the February 2016 Gallup poll, finding that 63% of Americans saying they have more sympathy with the Israelis than Palestinians.
Oh, they have more sympathy with Israelis and Palestinians. How can you have more sympathy with Israelis and Palestinians? My question. Who was living in Israel when the Israelis came? The Palestinians. They're Ishmaelites, but in particular the Palestinians. So they get their land taken. They get compartmentalized. But see, the Palestinians, they're not our people, right? But they are like the Middle East version of the Native American, of the tribe of Gad. Here they are in a land. Granted, the land is not theirs, but the land does not belong to the person who came there either. They get pushed to reservations. They call these reservations the Gaza Strip. What are some of the other names they got out there? The West Bank. There we go. The West Bank, the Gaza Strip, and they push you out there, and then they start hitting you with bombs. The same thing that the white man did to the tribe of Gad here, the Jewish man, who is also a white man, is doing to the Palestinian Ishmaelite in Israel, quote unquote, Palestine right now. But Americans are more inclined to sympathize with Israel than Palestine. It's a serial victimizer. Why? Because America is a serial victimizer. Right. That's why nobody cares about all these Native Americans on all the reservations and drilling on their land, and they're getting killed more than anybody else by police. Right. Nobody cares. Right? That's just the way this country is set up. Go ahead. And the way white people have conditioned the world to be.
Khan.
Go ahead.
When quizzed on their views on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Conversely, U.S. President Donald Trump enjoys popular support from the Israeli public with a Pew Research poll released this week finding that Israel was one of two countries, the other one being Russia, where the U.S. president is viewed favorably. In a May trip to Israel, Trump said he had a rare opportunity to bring security and stability and peace to the region.
Read that again.
Khan, in a May trip to Israel, Donald Trump said he had a rare opportunity to bring security and stability and peace to the region.
So, and peace to the region, but why won't there be any peace in that region? There's two answers to that question. Why won't there be any peace in that region? That's reason number one. What's the second reason? Because we ain't there, which I would be a part of that. But there was a statement made. That's what I'm looking for. Abdul Nasir, the Jews left black and came back white. There can't be any peace here. So there's not going to be any peace there, period. As long as there's an imposter in that land, there will be no peace in that land. Right? That's it on that. Give me Ezekiel 36, Salakia. 36 and start at 1, read to 12.
If you can, or try to have SARS do it. You can't block the mic because we're doing it on a different channel. I haven't been made a.
Okay, I gotta make somebody a moderator. All right, go ahead.
Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 1. It says, "Also, thou son of man, prophesy unto the mountains of Israel, and say, Ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of Yahweh."
Ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of Yahweh. Go ahead.
Thus said Yahweh, because the enemy have said against you, Aha, even the ancient high places are ours in possession.
So, like, just start from the top.
Come.
Type in.
Ezekiel 36 and 1. "Also, thou son of man, prophesy unto the mountains of Israel, and say, Ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of Yahweh. Thus said Yahweh."
So, like, hold on. Real quick for the chat. SICARRI. I just made you a moderator. And then also Shamar Yashar is a moderator. So y'all just keep track of what's going on in there. All right. So, like, you start with that from the top.
"Also, thou son of," it's like Ezekiel 36, and we start back from the top, verse 1. "Also, thou son of man, prophesy unto the mountains of Israel."
Go ahead.
"And say, Ye mountains of Israel."
So this is a prophecy that the prophet Ezekiel prophesied to the literal land of Israel. He's looking at the mountains and he's saying a prophecy to it. Go ahead.
Israel, hear the word of Yahweh.
Go ahead.
"Thus said Yahweh, because the enemy have said against you, Aha, even the ancient places are ours in possession."
And that's exactly what the Jewish man did. He said, Aha, even the ancient high places are mine in possession. They have come and they have taken our land. Go ahead.
Verse 3. "Therefore prophesy and say."
So here's the prophecy that Ezekiel gave. Go ahead.
"Thus said Yahweh, because they have made you desolate and swallow you up on every side.
Read.
That ye might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen."
And that's the white man, the residue of the heathen that possesses our land, Israel. The ones that our people, whether in and out of the knowledge, are becoming not very fond of, right? According to recent polls. Read on.
"And ye are taken up in the lips of talkers and are an infamy of the people."
You see that? You are taken up in the lips of talkers. What is taken up in the lips of talkers? In an infamy among the people. What is it? Who's being prophesied to? In Ezekiel. In the book, who is Ezekiel talking to? What is Ezekiel talking to? To the mountains of Israel. He's telling the land of Israel, you're in an infamy. People talk about Israel, not in a good light. Right? Go ahead.
It's verse 4. Therefore, ye mountains of Israel,
read.
Hear the word of Yahweh. Thus said Yahweh to the mountains and to the hills, to the rivers.
He's talking to all that land that belongs to us, right? Go ahead.
And to the valleys. And to the desolate wastes, and to the cities that are forsaken, which became a prey and derision to the residue of the heathen that are round about. Therefore, thus said Yahweh, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen.
Go ahead. In the fire of his jealousy, he's speaking against the residue of the heathen. That's them damn Edomites that's over there. That's them Ishmaelites and Palestinians and any other nation that's in our land. The Most High is speaking against angrily. Right? Go ahead.
And against all Idumea.
And against who?
All Idumea.
It's telling you who took your land. It says Edom took your land. Esau was the Arabs now. You know, that teacher's going great. Well, wait a minute. It says Idumea stole Israel. White people run Israel. So who are the Edomites? The white man, right? And the Saudi Arabians that they saying the Edomites got Jewish granddaddies. These Negroes ain't know that though. When they go around talking about the East Saudis, their grandpa is Jewish, so that's all right. They are Edomites, right? Go ahead.
It says, and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land.
The white man, Edom, has appointed our land into their possession. Who else has done that? Nobody else has done that. This is clearly talking about the white man, Esau. Go ahead.
With the joy of all their heart.
With the joy of their heart. And they're going around with the joy down in their heart. All around stomping your land, doing all type of madness and abomination, having kosher pigs and gay pride parades in your land. And they're getting the mark of the beast over there. One of the first places where they tested the RFID chip out was in Israel. All right. They had a Coca-Cola had a party, a huge party in Israel where it was Coca-Cola and a Facebook collaborative party. And they would go to each station of that party with an RFID chip. And they would check in at each station and it would pop up right on their Facebook. This was 6 years ago. You see what I'm saying? 6 years ago they did this, right? Go ahead. Might have been longer. Go ahead.
It says, with despiteful minds, to cast it out for a prey.
With what?
With despiteful minds.
With despiteful minds. Meaning in spite, they took our land and said it was theirs and said they were us. Right? So, of course, young blacks and Latinos are displeased with with Israel. We should be, because it's our land and it's not theirs, and we're the actual Jews.
Right.
We're the actual Israelites. So we should be mad as hell, and we should disapprove. And the 20-point drop should be a 100-point drop, right, or whatever the scale is, whatever the maximum point droppage is, to where you have 0% approval of Israel amongst our people. That's what we need. Ben, go ahead.
It says, with despiteful minds, to cast it out for a prey.
Go ahead.
Verse 6. Prophesy therefore concerning the land of Israel, and say unto the mountains and to the hills, the valleys, thus said Yahweh, behold, I have spoken my jealousy in my fury, because ye have borne the shame of the heathen.
See, God knows, the Most High Yahweh used the white man's occupation of our land as shameful. And the land itself feels ashamed that these crackers is walking around our land right now. Right. Feels absolutely ashamed that the rightful owners of that land are not there. See, there's a prophecy that speaks about when Israel gets abandoned and it can finally enjoy its Sabbath. Because even when we're wicked, the only good thing that could come out of us being expelled is if Israel is just totally abandoned. Then Israel can enjoy its Sabbath and nobody's there to do any wickedness. But what's happened since 1948? The heathen have been stomping around there doing all manners and forms of wickedness, including oral copulation, all right, on little babies. And you got Negroes that's getting down with that. How many of y'all seen that Negro on the damn sign of the TV? Y'all seen this Negro? Grown black man practicing Judaism. Sat down with the brother from Captain Tazariah from ISUBK. And so they asked him, well, would you let a rabbi do that to your little baby boy? You know what he says? I'm obligated to let him do that. He believed that. He's obligated. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. Grown man, right? Go ahead.
Which one to go down? You said go to
12.
6. Oh, 12. Verse 7. It says, therefore, thus said Yahweh, I have lifted up mine hand. Surely the heathen that are round about you, they shall bear their shame.
That's right. They're going to bear their shame. The white man is going to bear his shame, and the Arab man and every other, and the Hamite that's there. Let me tell you something. The elders just came back. They had their Passover in Israel this year. You know what they said? They said between the Edomites and the Ethiopians over there in Israel, they have never experienced more racism ever than they did for them Hamites and them Edomites over there in Israel. I'm talking about nowhere in America, in the South, anywhere have they experienced the type of racism that they experience from these heathens that's walking around our land like it's there.
Right.
Never experienced it. 40, 50 years old. Experienced plenty of racism in America. But guess what? When they went to Israel, it was real. And even from them Hamites. Go ahead.
Yeah, Kyle, you can see from the videos that they got up, just the proud and just the pride they got walking around stolen land. It's similar to the same pride they got here in America.
Oh, it's Esau.
Stolen ground.
Exactly. That's right. Read that part again.
Verse 7. Therefore, thus said Yahweh, I have lifted up mine hand. Surely the heathen that are round about you, they shall bear their shame.
They're going to bear their shame for stealing our land. All the heathen that are there, and chiefly Idumea. That's why it was named by name. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 8. But ye, O mountains of Israel, ye shall shoot forth your branches and yield your fruit to my people of Israel.
So that means it's going to flourish again. Who the world called Christ, Yahweh Shai, going to bring us there and reestablish the kingdom. Go ahead.
It says, for they are at hand to come. For behold, I am for you, and I will turn unto you.
He is for who?
I am for you.
I thought he was for everybody.
I am for you.
The world.
I am for you.
Okay, go ahead.
And will turn unto you, and ye shall be tilled and sown.
He gonna turn on us, and we're gonna be tilled and sown. Meaning we gonna get the new covenant. That's what that's talking about. The tilling and the sowing is talking about that new covenant and us multiplying and having a great, abundant nation of people. Go ahead. Being fruitful and multipliers, right? Go ahead.
Verse 10. And will multiply men upon you. All the house of Israel, even all of it, and the city shall be inhabited.
That's right. All the house of Israel, even what?
Even all of it.
Even all of it. That's why Paul wrote in Romans, what? Shall be saved, as it is written. All Israel is going to be back in that kingdom and ruling and maintaining. That's period. Right? Shalom. Go ahead.
It says, and the city shall be inhabited, and the waste shall be built.
That's right. We're going to return to that land and we're going to build that land up, right? Go ahead.
Verse 11, and I will multiply upon you man and beast.
That's right.
And they shall increase and bring fruit. And I will settle you after your old estates, and will do better.
Meaning he gonna put us up in our inheritance in our tribes, right? Go ahead.
And will do better unto you than at your beginnings.
That's right.
And ye shall know that I am the Lord.
Which is how you know this is an end time prophecy. Because when has he ever done better than us than he did at our beginnings? When have we ever been blessed that great as a people? You can't say this was when we coming out of Babylon during the Medo-Persian time. Why? Because we didn't get blessed beyond imagination during the Medo-Persian Empire. We got to rebuild the temple and we got to occupy our land, but we had to do so being subjugated to the Medo-Persian government. Then after that, we were subjugated to the Greco-Roman governments. No point have we ever been done to greater than at our original state. So if that's the case, then what does that mean? That means this is a last day prophecy. But what's the key thing here? Out of all the heathen, only one heathen is mentioned, Idumea. That's the only one. Meaning Idumea still has possession of that land. Meaning Idumea is the white man. Else the Arab has no power in Israel. He's getting blown to smithereens. He's got a damn Palestinian lives matter over there. they have is about as much power as you have in America. None whatsoever. Your power is you get killed and nobody does anything. You dead in the street and nobody does anything. That's the Palestinian have the same power. Came by camp downtown. Remember, he was watching us for a long time. He was smoking. And then we talked to him. We asked him about Israel. He don't like Israel. Why? They kill it. He don't like Israel the same way any self-respecting black or Hispanic Native Indian don't like America. Because they kill you and they get away with it. They stole the land from you and subjugated you to the slum, to manufactured slums. That's why, right? That's it on that?
No.
Go ahead.
We have still 11 and 12. And I will multiply upon you men and beasts, and they shall increase and bring fruit. And I will settle you after your old estates, and will do better unto you than at your beginnings.
This has never happened. This will happen after the return of who the world calls Christ Yahweh. Go ahead.
I am Yahweh.
And we're going to know our God when he does this, when he puts us back in our land, when he makes us greater than we've ever been. Right? Go ahead.
Yeah. Verse 12. Yea, I will cause men to walk upon you, even my people Israel.
Even my people. Are men walking on Israel right now? Yes. But not his people, as he said earlier, the residue of the heathen. That's who's walking on Israel right now. The residue of the heathen. Right? Go ahead.
It says, even my people Israel, and they shall possess thee.
And we're going to possess it in that time. We're going to take it from Idumea, as previously mentioned in the prophecy, who are the white man, period. Go ahead.
And thou shalt be their inheritance.
And who shall be our inheritance? The land of Israel. Go ahead.
And thou shalt no more henceforth bereave them of men.
You see that? That's what's getting ready to happen. The Hispanics in the spirit are rejecting Israel, are being disapproving in the morals of Israel, saying they don't agree with Israel. Why? Because Israel is your land and somebody is stealing. So why would you agree with your things being stolen? Why would you agree with the appropriation of your literal possession? I was just watching some brothers go into the land grab, right? In 1900, at the turn of the century, that 20th century, they said black men own 14 to 15 million acres of land in America. Now, black men own 1 million acres of land in America. What happened to all that land? Brothers and whole families were forced out of their land, and white people stole their land from them, right? So I'm on the phone. I called my grandma on the phone. You know, my grandma, she about to be 94, I want to say this week. What's this week? Within the next like 2 weeks, she'll be 94. She's from Kentucky. So I said, you know, I was talking to her about it. And I said, yeah, they were stealing land. She said they sure was. She's seen it. She's seen the land get stolen on multiple occasions. So she knows this is to be fact. You see what I'm saying? So just, it's nothing new to the white man to come and steal your land. He stole this land from Gad, then gave you some land, or you messed around and got you start sharecropping or whatever. You inherited a plantation. Sometimes that happened after slavery, when the slave master would die, a black man or black woman would inherit the plantation. They then kicked you off of that land, right? When my family on the patrilineal side came to America from Haiti, we came from Louisiana, right? So what happened was, when we came up in Louisiana, there was a slave master who had a baby with one of his slaves, right? So one of my great grandfathers basically got with her and got the house and got the land that way. After she died, they went in there and they got him up out of that damn house. You see what I'm saying? He technically rightfully inherited it. Her father left it to her, and that's her husband, and they had kids. That's supposed to be the kid's land, right? And that man's land. Of course, they kicked him out. You see what I'm saying? So this is what the white man does. This is how he has systematically set you up to fail in this damn place. People talking about where are the black farms and the black this and the black that. I'll tell you where. The white man stole it. That's where it was. It would have been there. What do you think we were doing after they let us out of slavery? Just standing around? Maybe like we were just on some back road somewhere, just standing around waiting, looking up Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. No, we wouldn't made it happen.
Right.
And you know what they did? They made it happen. They came and stole your land. Where did that drive you to? That drives you to the north. That drives you to the cities. That drives you to the damn Didn't the factory start relocating, shutting down? Then what happens? And then now you're just standing in the street. Now you're selling drugs. Now you're killing each other in the street because there's just nothing left. This is how we got here, because the white man is a damn thief.
Right.
And nothing noble about him.